So welcome to episode 2 of this talk about my upcoming book, The Way of Nagomi, to be published in April 2022. And today I would like to discuss Ikigai. As I said in the first episode, this book was actually, evaluated as stroke of genius by my good agent H. So please expect great things from this book. But anyway, in this book, although this is not a sequel to my book on Ikigai, I did discuss Ikigai and specifically this Ikigai famous Ikigai diagram. Now, this diagram is not Japanese in origin. As a Japanese, of course, I have been, exposed to this concept of Ikigai over many, many years, and I have been, discussing about Ikigai in daily lives in a casual manner, and what Ikigai is something that is common in the Japanese culture, and although as I wrote in the book, my little book of Ikigai and Awakening Ikigai, we do not actually think so explicitly about Ikigai because it's like the air we breathe. In Japan, we are aware of this concept of Ikigai from childhood, and we don't actually discuss Ikigai in explicit rule-based algorithmic ways. But anyway, having said that, this diagram is very strange, to say the least, because it's. I'm saying that this is useful. I'm of course for the Western readership, probably this diagram is useful in structuring what motivates you and what gives you pleasure and so on. But this diagram is very strange because it defines Ikigai as an intersection of all these things. What you love and what the world needs and what you can be paid for and what you are good at. And Ikigai is defined as the intersection of all these things. And, that would be great if you can, do something that satisfies all these, requirements. But that is too narrow a definition for Ikigai. Because if you believe in this diagram, then what you love, but for what you cannot be paid for example, your hobby, is not Ikigai, right? That's really rubbish. Maybe I should not have said that word, but I would say it again. It's rubbish. Even if you are not paid for something you do, for example, if you love to paint a picture, and you are not paid for that, that is Ikigai. Of course, that is Ikigai. For example, if you are not good at something, I mean, for example, if, you might want to play musical instruments, and you might not play it well, but that can also be your Ikigai. Of course, it can be your Ikigai. So no matter whether you are good at something, or no matter whether what you do is needed by society, or whatever you might do might be paid for or not, that is your Ikigai. And so out of this diagram, the only condition would be this: what you love. This is an absolutely necessary condition for Ikigai. Of course, you've got to love what you do in order to for it to be your Ikigai. Of course, you need to love it. But otherwise, all these conditions are superfluous. They are non-essential. And they are nonsensical from the Japanese point of view. In Japan, for example, Japan is a country famous for its karaoke culture, right? I mean, when you sing karaoke and you sing very badly, of course, it's not what the world needs. And it's not what you're good at. And it's not what you're paid for. But that can be your Ikigai too. Of course, singing karaoke very badly can be your Ikigai. So this particular example would establish without doubt, I hope, in your mind, that this diagram is rubbish. It is not, it does not, it doesn't have anything to do with the essence of Ikigai. Ikigai is all of these things, and in particular, Ikigai is what you love, no matter what the social significance or what other people think about it, and whether you are good at it or not. Ikigai is a really wide spectrum of things that you love to do, you enjoy doing, and it's something of private. Of course, it can be something public, and it can be something vocational, but it can be your really personal hobby, and that is your ikigai. That's the beauty of this Japanese concept, ikigai. So if you're interested, please read my previous book, The Little Book of Ikigai, and Awakening Your Ikigai. And I think you'll be really able to appreciate what Ikigai is and use it in your life in a useful way. But at the same time, please wait and read my update on the concept of Ikigai, referring to this diagram in my forthcoming book, The Way of Nagomi, in which I discuss the update to this Ikigai diagram. But at the same time, it's many other things. Nagomi is something that is even broader than Ikigai. Actually, Nagomi is conceptually the mother of all the important concepts coming from Japan, like mono no aware, kintsugi, and of course Ikigai. So Nagomi is a very fundamental and important concept in Japanese culture, and I do hope you would enjoy reading The Way of Nagomi. And in particular, I hope you would be able to update your ideas about Ikigai. As I said, this diagram is useful in some context, and it will be useful in Western context in particular, but ultimately it's completely wrong, and you shouldn't really take this diagram seriously. Although I am thankful for anybody who has conceived of this diagram. I think it was a job well done, but it's something that can also be a misinformation or disinformation even for people who are interested in Ikigai. So that's from Ken Mogi, and please look forward to The Way of Nagomi. By the way, inside of this is Die Meistersinger from Nuremberg by Richard Wagner. It has nothing to do with Ikigai. Actually, well, it has something to do with Ikigai because listening to Wagner operas is one of my Ikigais. So thank you for listening to my clumsy talk. There will be more updates to this forthcoming book of The Way of Nagomi, and also there will be tons of interesting materials broadcast on this channel. So please do subscribe to this channel. Thank you.